Greetings, everyone. I'm Muse for Hire S.Stephon Brown. I'm posting some videos to promote my new digital book, The Barstool Theories Too, my First Mental Cartography Handbook, Abridged. Now available through Kindle on Amazon.com. Now, some people have asked me what a professional muse actually does, and I can't speak for anyone else or any other pros, but our brand of musing involves understanding the truth of a situation and revealing it in a way that is helpful for our audiences. That's how we do our job well. So if you indulge me, I'd like to show you a little bit about what that actually looks like. With a musing of truth, I'm calling a plea for American politics. Let's begin. Now, if you've read either of my first two books, I don't say many positive things about today's political climate in the United States. That made me want to kind of muse over the situation and figure out what the problem might be. Because I love this country, I really do, and I want to help. And so the United States has had some amazing political leaders at all levels of U.S. government, and that's because of I think of the unique nature of the United States. We're the melting pot for the rest of the world. Um, but our greatness doesn't come from that diversity, but from the special people who understand how to embrace that diversity and then use it as a strength. We have some of the most brilliant minds on the planet within our cultural borders. Because the United States is not just a place, it's a people, it's a culture, and it is an attitude, one of innovation, perseverance, and overcoming obstacles. But most of all, inclusion and understanding. Well, when we do it right, we're great because we're different. We are different than any other place in the world. And we can be one of the greatest places on the planet, but I think we need a bit of a makeover. And I think it needs to start with our political system. Okay. So I would now, just speaking as myself, just me, I'm not speaking for anyone else, but I'm speaking as a representative of the United States people. I would like to speak now directly to all U.S. politicians, all of you, from all levels, city council members, mayors, governors, representatives, people in Congress, and anyone who is or wants to become president. Okay? All of you. I am exercising my right to speak as an American citizen on our behalf of the United States people. I have one request. We would like it very much if you did your job. Now, that sounds like an unwarranted criticism to some of you, and it probably is to some of you. But I actually think this actually boils down to a definition problem more than anything, and possibly a bit of a miscommunication about the job parameters that you're supposed to do. Because right now, it seems like some American politicians don't actually know what their job is. I have no idea what the onboarding procedure is for all of you, but when they told you your job, I do not think it means what you think it means. The job of any politician is to understand the needs and the desires of the people they represent and then translate those needs into actionable items for the betterment of all of them. And that last part of the statement has been the problem lately, and I think it needs a correction. You are not hired to work for the people who voted for you. You're not. You're not. You are hired to represent everyone in your constituency, even the ones that didn't vote for you, especially them, in fact. Firefighters don't get to decide what fires they fight or what people they help. They're given an area to protect, and their job is to do their best to protect all of those people, period. I think some of our politicians may have lost sight of that. But first, before I say anything else, I need to say this. This is not an easy job you do. It's not. It really, really isn't. I don't want to do it, nor do I feel qualified to do it. It's not my thing because good politicians need to be smart people who are also people smart. They have to understand big concepts like economics, cultural sensitivity, business practices, history, and leadership techniques. But most important thing a good politician needs is the ability to compassionately empathize with all of the people you represent. For everything else, there are experts that you can turn to for help. The rest of America's got your back, okay? But you need to be the expert at understanding all of your people. That's what the first part of the job is. Then getting together with other elected people experts from different places and working to help the most people possible at all times. Not just the people who look like you and talk like you. All of us. We are all Americans and we all deserve our voices to be heard equally. If you think differently, then I'm sorry to tell you this, but you are not right for this job. Thank you for your service. I wish you luck finding a new career. Honestly, I do. I really do, because I care about all Americans. But if you don't want to do the work to be great at this, please step away and let another American give it a shot. This job isn't right for everyone. It really isn't. It's a difficult occupation that is often incredibly thankless. You can have weird long hours, lots of travel, lots of listening to upset people and understanding complex situations that you have just learned about on the fly. And the biggest thing, keeping your ego out of it the whole time. This job is not about you. It's never about you, ever. If you are in politics for yourself, you are an SVO and shouldn't hold public office. But here's the thing. I'm not the type of person to just complain and not provide solutions. That's never helpful. Hint, hint. So here's my offer to you to become a better politician in just 5 days. On the first day in office, go to the poorest section you represent and meet normal people there face to face. Use your senses, not polls. Polls are BS. Use what you've been given to read the people. Look at the faces. Look for faces that look differently than yours. Okay? Listen to them and learn what their lives are like. On the second day in office, go to the richest section and do the same thing again. Meet people. Find out who they are and what they need. The reason for this is because in these United States, someone's financial situation has nothing to do with their citizenship. Nothing. The rich, the poor, the middle class, the in-betweeners, they are all equally Americans. On the third day, find a religious institution that is not your own and visit them with respect and honor. Ask them what struggles they have or what they've seen. They might have seen things that you aren't. It's a different group of people. Be aware of it, because this country was founded on a tenet of religious freedom, and all gods are welcome here, regardless of what you personally believe. Set that aside. It's not part of the job. On the fourth day, seek out the communities in your area that are underrepresented, underfunded, or under attack. It doesn't matter what you think of their views. As long as they aren't harming other citizens, you need to be willing to understand them and give them grace as Americans. Oh, and before you ask, you don't get to decide what is harmful and what is not. Once again, that's not your responsibility. We have different experts for that: sociologists, therapists, anthropologists, doctors, and the like. That's them. Now, here's something I didn't tell you yet, okay? I said what I needed you to do every day, but I didn't mention the nights. During the evenings, we need you to think about everyone I didn't mention. We need you to consider the middle class, the gig workers, and the unions. We need you to also relate to the billionaire class, understand their world, and make sure they can innovate and create opportunities for us, but are still paying their fair share. They're Americans too. We got to take care of each other. And we need you to spend your nights worrying about all of us the same way we do for ourselves. We need you to understand all of us because on the fifth day, remember there's 5 days, the fifth day, that's when the hard work starts. And that work is figuring out a way to help every single one of those different groups fairly while you are in office. All of them equally. If you don't want to help poor Americans, please don't be in politics. If you don't want to help rich Americans, please don't be in politics. If you don't want to help Americans with different views of religion, expression, or sexual orientation, please don't be in politics. We don't need leaders to push us through fear and trickery. We want to be led by example without hypocrisy. And please, 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 all of you, stop trying to divide us. That is the opposite of what we need from you. Asking an American citizen to hate another American citizen because they are different is literally the most un-American thing you could possibly do. That's not us. We're better than that. And that's why we need your help. We need politicians who can think above us in ways that we can't for ourselves and decipher the true needs of all people instead of just catering to the wants of a few. And if you don't want to do that, here's the thing, if you don't want to do it, that's completely fine. I understand. You just can't hold this job. You can't expect to be the quarterback of the football team if you are not willing to throw the ball to all of your receivers. That's not how things work in the real world. And we can't claim to be the greatest team of all time if we don't play like one. But if you believe you can do it, I believe you can too. I really do. Like I said, this might have just been a miscommunication on our part about the expectations of these positions. But here it is, straight up. You have been given one of the greatest honors in our society to stand and be a voice for those who need your help. Do this. To do this, all we ask of you is to be the best you can be. Put us, all of us, first for the time you serve and help guide us all equally so we can have better lives together, all of us, because that's what we hired you to do and nothing else. Please and thank you. I've been professional muse for hire S.Stephon Brown. Check out our website, thebarstooltheories.com, to hire us for musing services, mental cartography assignments, or to purchase either of the Barstool Theories books. Available on Amazon. Bon courage out there. Cheers.